Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening.
It is my great pleasure to be chosen as Stephen's best man today. And also, he was my best man as well at my wedding about 2 years ago, roughly. And when I first came to England to study, I expected to be fluent in the new language. But after moving to the northeast of England, about 3 years ago, I just found out I had to learn one more language. So today, I'd like to congratulate this wonderful couple in all three languages. Many congratulations, Stephen and Ayumi.
Thank you.
ご結婚おめでとうございます。わ、よし、スティーブンマン。
大きすぎる。
You go yourself.
近寄らない。
You go yourself. Can you last there? The champion. But I see quite a few Scottish people here tonight, of course, and I find there's very similar attitude between Scottish and the Japanese men at a party like this. But tonight, quite many of you are wearing kilts, and I'm wearing this samurai skirt here. Samurai skirt of my family clan, and this is my family clan symbol. So it's quite similar. So we are very brave to wear a skirt in public, but I'm not brave enough to go commando. I'd like to tell you some stories about the main man first. I met Stephen 6 years ago when I was just about to start my PhD at Sheffield University. And one afternoon, I was searching for accommodation in the university office, where I bumped into Stephen and his coursemate Charles, who were also looking for a place before starting the Japanese course. And we felt it would be convenient to share a house. And we lived together for 9 months, just like a family, cooking for each other and learning languages from each other. And we became very good friends. But when Stephen started learning Japanese, he became obsessed by memorizing Japanese characters, which are called kanji characters. But he knows more than 2,000 characters by now, which is quite incredible, I think. And we all know he's a very hard worker. Once he decides to do something, he's very single-minded about achieving his goal as quickly as possible, which I always envy. I was wondering how he learned kanji characters at that unbelievable pace, because I used to struggle to memorize kanji in my childhood. So in Sheffield, by the way, we lived in a house about 3 miles away from our university, and Charles and I usually cycled to the uni, but Stephen walked every day. And one rainy morning, I found the answers to some of the mysteries about Stephen. So mystery number 1 was why he walked to the university, spending 45 minutes each way. And number 2, how he learned kanji characters so quickly. So on that morning, I took a bus and spotted him at the roundabout, and he was walking like this. And then suddenly he put his hand into his pockets and got something out. And I went, ah. That was his legendary kanji card. I have to return this to you. Thank you very much.
I told you it's not true.
So, and he spent 90 minutes on the road every day just to learn kanji characters. And this is how young Stephen became master of Japanese language. And no wonder his nickname became Kanji Spice in the late 90s. And the next, some stories about when he was in Japan. So after staying in Sheffield, Stephen and Charles moved to Tokyo to complete the second half of their course. And after they arrived, Mrs. Kono, who looked after foreign students, took them to an estate agent. A very skinny Japanese lady at the reception asked for their ID stamp for a house rent document. But ID stamp is a stamp of your family name, used in Japan like a signature in this country. But they didn't have one because they were new, just arrived. So instead, the very skinny lady asked them for their boy. The boy means fingerprint in Japanese. But Stephen picked up the word and found it funny because it sounds like boy boy. So in English. So then it stuck in his head, and he started repeating boy 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 in this estate agent. And then Mrs. Kono suddenly said, "Shut up, please." But he didn't understand why he had to stop. But this time she was very serious, and why didn't have to stop? And he kept doing it even louder. Oh dear. But again she said, "Shut up" to him, but this time she was very serious and added, "Stephen, I'll explain later, so please stop." But after they came out of the estate agents, he was told, "Poi" means fingerprint in Japanese, but also means big breasts. And the other thing, last summer, Steve and his Irish friend Justin went to Japan to follow Ireland's football World Cup campaign. And I was there too, and we watched a Japan against Belgium match in an Irish pub in Tokyo. It's quite expensive, I think. After watching the match, Stephen said, "Oh, by the way, Tor-san, tomorrow I'm getting photographs taken with Justin in a hotel. Just for a magazine." But he said, "We won't be wearing anything." Then I thought, maybe something had happened. Staying in the same hotel room together for 3 weeks. Maybe then they're running out of money.
We've seen the photo. We've known.
But I didn't have the chance to ask him any more about this strange event. But when I went back to England, he sent me a copy of the magazine. When I opened it, it was the guidebook to 100 greatest hot springs around Tokyo. And they were modeling a nude modeling for one of the springs. It was like that.
Justin, pull your kilt out, turn around, everybody will recognise Spanish yet?
I'll talk about bride now. Ayumi, you look so wonderful tonight. When Stephen first met Ayumi 4 years ago, it was outside the ladies' toilet in a nightclub. But good place to meet girls. His shut-up line to Ayumi went, "Do you like this Fat Boy Slim music?" And she said, "Yes, this is my most favorite one." But somehow, they ended up dancing for a while, and then started writing in the bar instead of chatting. Stephen asked Ayumi, "What do you do?" And she replied, "I'm a nurse." At this moment, Stephen's eyes went very wide as visions of Ayumi in the nurse's uniform, giving him a sponge bath. Immediately, Stephen wrote kanji characters for nurse. Ayumi was very impressed by this, and then he started, "I can write this, I can write that, blah, 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 blah." As you can imagine, this continued until the club was shut. But when I heard this story, I eventually figured out why he had worked so hard to learn kanji characters. Then 2 weeks later, well, this is a bit longer time for a Scottish man. They had first date in the park, packed with pigeons, and Stephen talked about his family and pigeons and his dad. Ayumi was attracted by the pigeon story and felt he must have come from a very nice family. And they both had a good impression of each other, and finally started going out. And now Ayumi sees Stephen in 3 ways. Number 1, he never tells a lie, and she can always trust him 100%. Is that true? Number 2, he likes to set himself targets and personal goals to test his knowledge and skills. Ayumi says quite often she gets stimulated by this. Number 3, he has a very tender heart. She feels he protects her every day of her life. However, Ayumi has only one request to make to Stephen. She wants him to tidy up in the house. I'll give you one example here. When he takes his clothes off, he leaves those shirts and trousers in the heap everywhere. And Ayumi has to collect them every morning to wash. Ayumi says, typically after washing, she finds his socks and pants in his jeans, like a snake shedding his skin. Finally, I will talk about the lovely baby Marichan. Maybe better. When the family found out Ayumi was pregnant last August, Stephen said to his father, "It was like a railway journey, Dad. I just forgot to get off at Haymarket Station." But eventually arrived. And I never waited. His father said, "What a climax to a story." Now you know how Archie Gemmill scored against Holland in 1978. You dipstick. Now Steve is a good father, and shortly after the baby arrived in March, he rang me and told me how great it was to be a father in an excited tone. And Ayumi admits he's a very adoring father and plays with Mari all the time. But as soon as Mari starts crying, he returns her back to Ayumi. Well, thanks to all the families and friends, and especially for those who flew in from the other side of the world, and thanks to all the thank you to all the staff here to make this evening really, really enjoyable. Now, may I ask a big toast for this wonderful couple, please? Ladies and gentlemen, raise your glasses, please. For the bride and groom. Thank you very much.
Right, I'm not going to make a long speech because I'm driven. I don't believe I have to actually. So, besides, Keith looks like he needs to. Right, what we're going to do is we're going to cut the cake and then we're going to go in and have some dancing. What I would like to do is just thank especially everybody everybody for all the friends, everybody for coming here, in particular the people who came a long way from Japan. So, that was a great speech. This guy is the only Japanese person that I've ever known who went to Twickenham and won at rugby. He played for Sheffield Tigers at the what's the name of that beer? I can't remember Okay, it's the Tetley's Cup, and they beat the Bank of England, and I was there to see it. He's great. Right, so we're going to cut the cake and then let's go through and have some dancing. And what I would ask you to do though is we're going to have some Scottish country dancing as well. Try and grab someone Japanese and show them how to do it.
Do we know how to do it?
Well, try and grab them and show them how to do something. So we just cut the cake.